That was weird and annoying. I don't know what the hell the problem is. Oh, let's just go to the screen. Cool, that camera has to be restarted every goddamn time. Those are correct. So, I don't know what happened there. I even noticed that because I have my computer, my personal computer, monitoring the stream, and it looked weird, but it said everything was fine, and I checked my other stuff, and they all said, "Oh, you're fine." So, and then I saw that I wasn't broadcasting anymore, and then I saw the post. I should probably. Yeah, I don't know. I was when I went to take that break, I was right before I saw your message. I was coming around, and I have my personal computer monitoring the stream, and I went past it, and it was like buffering, and I'm like, oh, well, I just kind of went, that's weird, but I figured it was just because no one was using the computer, and it was like going to sleep or something like that. And then I came over and I noticed that that Twitch wasn't saying I was live anymore, and then your message, and now it's weird. I did a little bit of troubleshooting because I was kind of curious why this problem has come back. So I thought I figured out what it was, but I used Streamlabs OBS, which I don't know. I get a lot of flack for. I guess I should stop using it. I don't really use much of it anyways anymore. Much of the stuff that I liked it for, but when I lost connection and everything, I went and just disconnected my network because my music is on a network, and if that cuts out, then I know my network's cut out, and that's happened a couple of times because of a hardware thing or a loose connection or something. Yeah, that was like super weird. I tend to put it down on the internet glitch or Twitch's endpoint lagging. Yeah, I'm like, okay, here's my chance, and I unplugged the Ethernet, and the software didn't act like anything was wrong. And I'm looking at my network feeds, and there's nothing there, and the software is just like, huh? I don't know. So initially my issue was I was running the Wi-Fi at the same time as the Ethernet. Everything was going through the Ethernet, but I had the Wi-Fi as a backup. But that was causing problems because if there was a dip out, it would switch over to the Ethernet, but that was on a different IP, so it would just drop the whole internal network. Like it wasn't able to reroute the traffic properly or something like that. Once I turned that off, the problem went away. Now it's come back, because this happened on Monday too, really ticked me off. And it's the same scenario where it's like it dropped out, I guess, for a second, which is expected. Well, whatever. I've grown to it being something that can happen. But then it didn't correct. It didn't come correct. So, oh yeah, we gotta also order that touch plate. I want that touch plate. Touch plate. All right. Well, whatever. I don't know. All right, let me just throw this together. I have the mill with the 12K motor from Zen and the mount for the motor cracked and broke. Is there a way for me to get another mount? Is it possible for the mount to be milled instead of printed? I feel like this was the issue, as my previous mount was a solid piece of ABS, and it held up well over the years. Please let me know. Thank you in advance. Sid. Ding. I guess I don't have to sign Sid's because you put your name at the top. But I will put a happy exclamation point. Alright, so here I'm gonna, not that my email is that interesting to hide, but because I mean I think I have it on the website actually, but whatever. It's just good practices. What is it? Kip Boga. He's like, I hide stuff even though most of it's not that important. It's just out of good practice so that I don't accidentally forget to hide something. And I've been doing that a lot lately, so. I'm kind of stupid. All right. Email sent to Zen. Very, really hope I get a reply, because they never wrote me back about, what was the problem I had? Oh, about my question about weight limitations on the mill. Oh well. Alright, so I got these tools. What else do I need to order for this? I think that's it. Oh, I think I'm trying to do like a old school drum and bass song. Whoa. From Optical. I think it's an old optical track. So I'm trying to think of what else we need. We're getting a new Chuck Collet. I think it's Collet. Sounds very cool. Collet. Not to be confused with Full House actor Dave Coulier. Very different spelling. Very different person. Like, actually a person. This is just an object. Important. Okay. Opus up. Well, I guess that's normal light. So, and I really want to get this because I just feel like a jackass that I'm running it with a computer. And this is expensive, but you only need to buy it once, right? It's not one of those things you got to pick up every 4 years. And honestly, I'll feel like a real machinist with that jog wheel and shit. I'll feel really, really special. And the e-stop, I mean, hello. So, let's do that. I'll get that. So it's a couple of bucks that we're spending. It's not, I'm $1.20 to be exact, but, and some change. But I think, and whatever Zen's gonna charge, if there's any cost for the, oh yeah, and then there's the Calais too. So there's $1.50. Ouch. Oh well. That doesn't help me. I read that in my head. So here's I'll read it out loud because I kind of read things first when I can. Colette is pronounced like Colette. Should I Google it? Pronunciation. I don't know if this. I think I turned this browser down. Let's see. Yeah, let me turn it on. Oh, I don't need that, but thank you. Why can't you just play it in there? Why do you gotta take me to this ad delivery system? Oh, I thought I was gonna do it right then.
Colette.
Okay.
Colette.
All right. Colette. It just sounds... Okay, here's where I'm coming from. It sounds like a French proper noun. Like someone with that name invented a fulcrum-style tensioning system, and that was their last name, which I would believe would be pronounced Collet. However, according to the internet pronunciation thing, it's Colette. So I will forget that shortly. It basically means caller. Well, what do I fucking know? Okay, well now I'm feeling really stupid. But I'm glad we finally broached that topic and we took it down like a wild animal. But yeah, you know what? I think that's it, really. I think that's all I really need to get. I'm trying to think of... So I was cleaning up and I noticed I have some tubing stuff that I can use that like you use to bundle your wires together. Wires. There's your American accent. You use to bundle your wires together. You use that there tubing to put the wires together. Here on them wires right up there. It gets all nice and tight. So I was gonna take some of that. You get it from the IKEA. You go down to the IKEA. You go, hey, give me some of them wires, you know, wranglers. And they just look at you. They just look at you real hard. And they go, I'm sorry. What? And I go, never mind. I find it. And I get one of them wire cutters and wranglers. Now I'm just mumbling. What's this? There we go. Of course, it sounds all out of tune. I don't know if I used the code for my first order. Bugger me. So I remember they had like $50 off. Whatever. I dig these guys. Arrow. I can't recall who it was that brought them up. Maybe it's Pump Rocks. Wire wrangler for wrangling on them wire pixels. All them pixels all over the place. You gotta get them wire wranglers in. Oh, they're gonna go everywhere. And then what are you gonna do? Just shit, what are you gonna do? You gonna be angrier and madder than I ever seen it. Than I ever know. Yeah, that's kind of it. I wouldn't mind. So do they have any other products? No way. Aww. They have metric now. I wonder if it's cheaper. That would be really awesome. Well, the one I got was, yeah, 16, so it's the same price. But I kind of want to get one that, well, I think it's the same thing now. Oops. I'll go look at them in the cart. That's great. Man, diamond engraving tools? Yeah. Wait, does that mean it's a diamond for the engraving piece, or that it's designed to engrave diamonds? Wax milling tool, does that mean it's designed to mill wax, or it's made of wax? Because when you put those two side by side, questions start to arise in your brain. What do you engrave on a diamond? Where do you get diamonds big enough to engrave onto something you're gonna be able to see?
I made this diamond. It's in an action figure. It's Hulk Hogan doing the Hulkster.
So they do sharpening. I think it's like 10. Yeah, $7.50 a piece. $10 for the end mill cutters, but that would kind of be worth it. Although you're only saving, actually you're not saving that much money if it's $10 a piece. Unless you send them 25 or more, now you're... Wait. I thought I put some other stuff in my shopping cart. Does it just empty it? Son of a bitch. Or maybe I created a paradox too powerful for it to understand. I really actually want to see. I don't think that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. What was the number again? 0.08. But it was 0.79 on here. There it is. Okay, there you go. Here, I'll keep the metric one. I don't use freedom units on here because a lot of the stuff I get is already metric. So it would be a pain to keep converting over and over. So we just shove everything over to the world of metric, and it's not too bad. It's not all that bad. So is it angle that will... So I forget. Do I need to get the... Yeah, I need the 60 degrees because that's 30 on each side. Although it really doesn't matter, but... And then the tip size needs to be 0.03 for my 7/6 life in the metric system. Alright. I don't know why the cart cleared itself out. I don't know what happened. Maybe it has a really short memory, which would be a foolish. Especially, well, you know, I didn't agree to any cookies, so maybe they don't. A lot of engineering stuff is metric. It's just a far superior measurement system. I agree. I mean, I was just born into metric, you know? Or I was born into freedom units. I don't... You know, it's all I know because it's all there's been for me. But as soon as I started getting into the DIY electronics and milling and CNC, all of that, everything's in metric. Like when you go, I mean, some of them are accommodating for freedom units, but almost always it's in metric. So when you look at a data sheet for like a knob, or not a knob, like a potentiometer or something, and you need to know the diameter for the shaft, it may be written in freedom units, but more than likely it may be, but it's definitely going to be a metric. Absolutely, every time. So that was my mindset, is like, well, everything I grab is in metric, so I might as well just keep it that way. Because like I said, I don't want to keep converting back and forth. And honestly, anytime I've tried to do inches, it's, and I know in CNC you can break it into decimals, but it doesn't work out in freedom units for that. So it's like, what would it be like? Oh, well, it would be 1.25, 1.125, and then I'm going to have to remember that's the equivalent of a 16th, or, things like that. And I hate that crap. I hate abstracting fractions to integers. I hate doing that. Those are two very abstract concepts to me and how my brain works. And I'd rather just stick with integers. I would rather just stick with that. Fractions are fine. If we're just going to always be in the fraction universe, then it's fine. But it's the same thing with standard and metric. I have to pick one. I have to go in one direction, and the exact same thing. And since metric doesn't use 16ths, 8ths, quarters, and garbage like that, unless it needs to, but most of the time it's 0.4, 0.25, 0.5, whatever. The UK is a little bit of an outliner. It uses both metric and imperial. Yeah. Well, I remember reading that it was supposed to happen and whatever. I can't remember. It's some classic scenario of well, I'm sure it's everybody's history, but American history, where some butthole got in the way of it, because it was they adopted it. I want to say in the late 70s or something like that, or mid 70s. At some point it was adopted in the 70s, maybe as early as the 80s, but I think it was the 70s. And it was passed, it was laws, ratified and everything. And the first thing they were going to do was start rolling out the speed limit signs, and you'd have both for a long time. And then after so many years, they'd get rid of the standard and just leave the metrics up. And that was kind of the idea, to roll it out. And I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was some depressing scenario of like, but then Money McBighands got in and was like, no, I make too much money from my standard rulers that I sell, so I'm going to fub it up in some way. I don't remember what it is. It was depressing. I don't even want to look it up because I'll just get sad. But whatever. Metric works for me. I'm good with millimeters. I'm starting lately, since I've been streaming with you guys, and I've constantly been trying to do freedom units and metric at the same time. I've started to develop a little bit of association between it so that I can offset over. Like millimeters, I have my own concept of a millimeter and so forth. And so the next one up obviously is centimeters and so forth. And I know it sounds really trivial and silly, but that's just how my brain is. It's trivial and silly. But like 1 inch is about 25, 27 millimeters. And I've started to ignore the inch and start just rounding down to 2 centimeters or 20 millimeters or whatever. I've started working in that method, and it's kind of helping. I will eventually, from streaming and working on this enough, I'll cast off my freedom unit chains and cloak, and I'll be as powerful as a Canadian. Because when you go to Canada, it's like that. It's all metric. That was fun. Nothing's funner than driving a car at a number that seems way higher than you're used to. And we had the car we rented had an electric speedometer, so we just hit the button, so it just was all in kilometers. It's weird. The imperial system was the original English system, but when the Americans got its independence, they kept it. Then when we changed to metric, and then the rest of the world followed suit, America was like, "Rebel, we won't follow." Yeah. Let's just why the United States. This is going to be funny when the possible slit does not use metric. Oh, hey, I should learn how to dose not. All right. I'm just going to skip to I've learned this. The biggest reason the U.S. hasn't adopted the metric systems are simply time and money. Oh, no, that's not true. When the Industrial Revolution began, that's not true. Whenever the discussion of switching the unit system came to Congress, the passage of the bill favoring the metric system was thwarted by big business and American citizens who didn't want to go through the time-consuming and expensive hassle of changing the country's entire infrastructure. Yeah, but I think there was a particular person or business. Smithsonian Magazine. This could be like a giant article, though. Oh my god, it's almost 3 paragraphs long. I don't have the attention span. I'm only going to read the highlighted word. Alright, whatever. It's just money and stubbornness, I guess, would be the simpler way to put it. I don't agree with it. I'm not happy. Not good. Called up my mother. Told her, why can't we do metric? She said, who is this? It's your son. And then those words I'll never forget. I have no son. And she hung up the phone. It's why it does or doesn't do something. Money or oil, but I didn't say that. Oh, well, you wouldn't be wrong to say it, mate. You wouldn't be wrong. Hey, I just thought of something else I wanted to get. When you said oil, lube. Do you think, let's see. So I want to get some, what would it be called? Like machining lube? Machining. Yeah, I'll just get that delivered by FedEx. Machining lubricants. Oh, I guess I needed to spell it in the fancy man's way. Hey, we can use water. I bet that's great. Hydrochloric oils, slide away oils, spindle oils, greasers. No. Ow! Oh my god, jumpers. Your claws were like tiny knives. You want to get up on camera? You want to show off, everybody? You should. I swear to God, I would make a stream about you, but I'd feel so bad. like exploiting you. Here. Well, here, let me set this up real fast. All right. If he does it, there he is. Jumpers. Oh, you little fuzzy man. Cutting fluids, chompers. We must find the cutting fluids. Here. Get in frame, buddy. You're not in frame. What did we talk about that? You have to be on your mark and on point. Know your lines. All of that, buddy. These are all important things that we spent a lot of money at that school that you begged us to take you to. You said, oh, this will make me so big on the Instagram. And then what did you do? You canceled your Instagram account and said Snapchat was cooler. Now you're like, Gram is for old people. I'm a young guy. I'm gonna get my fur everywhere. God, he really did. I'm about to run the vacuum after your visit. Oh, it's like floating around, too. What is wrong with you, little man? You're going bald. And you should get that. You should go see a doctor. Honestly, dude, you have like way too much fur. What is this shit? This is half a cat. Yeah, hop down. Now I gotta. I seriously. I'm sorry, guys. I seriously have to suck this up. It's so much, and I don't want it to get into the crap. Well, the crap being the my work surface. And I actually like saw a bunch of stuff. Like, look right there. See all that? That's going away. All right. So every now and then we have to have chompers on the stream. Cutting fluid, all right. Fluid. Home Depot was the rest of that sentence. Jesus. All right, I'm just gonna go to the Zon. Get it. Although I could go to Home Depot. I gotta go back there or something. Can't remember. Tap Magic? I love the name. Curious why this is $4 and this is $8. They're the same size. Oh, wait. These have different numbers. What do these numbers mean? 3004P, and this is 2857. For use of drilling, tapping, milling, and cutting metal, biodegradable cutting fluid is called for you in environment. Highly effective for hard metals such as stainless steel. Will not stain or change the properties, even soft metals such as aluminum. Dissipates heat rapidly and provides closer tolerance. Yield is ultra-fine finish and promotes longer tool life. That sounds hot. Oh, so that's what that number is referenced to. Non-spray cutting fluid used for tapping to the bump. Click on the buy for it name, forney name above the blue undertone for a catalog of welder abrasives. I think I can safely just get the cheaper one. I don't think I'm gonna get hurt here. I'm gonna try this out though. For $4.70, I think I'll be all right. Let me look down the rest of this list though. I didn't. It says magic, so I mean, right there alone, you know you're dealing with a product that's of sizable power. All right, so we got some cutting fluid. Is there? Oh, is there anything else? Oh, I know now. I wanted to get that touch plate. So I found some on Amazon. Oh God, the cat fur. It's everywhere. Touch plate. CNC. But the thing was, I wanted to get one that was fairly heavy. I like this one. I think this will work. Because it's not too big. I was looking at it before. These are about the same things. It's just a little bit cheaper. But it looks like the right size. Because I want something fairly small and see how... I mean, I don't know what scale this is, but you can tell it's not too large. I'm hoping these pictures give you like some sense. Nope, no pic. 3.5 by 2 centimeters. Yeah, 2 centimeters. That's perfect size. So my want is I want to set this up so that I can have this get dragged around when the machine moves so that it can do the grid. So like when it does the auto leveling, it does so in a grid. And interesting. And before I've just used a big piece, but I don't think that's the way you do it. But now I'm wondering how you just a second here. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, to move this thing around with it. That's what I want. Yes. All right, so that's on the bucket. But that's really cheap too. Thank God, $9. Let me see if there's... I was looking at some people were complaining that they failed, which can damage... Yeah, so not worth the money. I thought this would be spring-loaded or have soft base to protect the bit. This is nothing more than a contact point on a hard plastic base. It's kind of what I want, though. I mean, I guess a spring would be nice. But that's not what I had before, and I was okay. Because the machine moves really slow when it does it. Yeah, I think this will be fine. This would definitely be way better than what we have currently, which is nothing. Nothing at all. So this one is going to go wow, wow. Could be called Rim Ram Rum. There's actually a coil song called that. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that's what this is. Rim Ram Rum. Okay, so... Is that so? Now we got let's go through here. We got our brand new cullet, and we've got cooling, cutting fluid or cutting lube, machining lube. We've got a touch plate. I'm gonna order this this sweet little electric hand wheel for the CNC, which also includes my ever needed e-stop. We're gonna get some new bits, and that's it. This is just a I duplicated this just in case it forgot my order again. All right, let me do some painful math here. 6125, and then this is 150, 170, something like that. That's not too bad. 165, 175 after. There's probably some shipping. No, wait. These guys, wait, they do charge for shipping, but it's pretty. It's like in a bloody envelope, so it's not the worst thing in the world. It's kind of it, right? I think that's, honestly, I think that's all we're missing from the CNC, period. Is, those tools. Unless you guys can think of any other tools I could stand to consider getting again for the CNC. If there's anything I'm forgetting. I feel like I got it all though. I hope I did. My wallet hopes I did. I don't want to like add more things to that. But I also don't want to do this and then we start up next week and then it's like, oh yeah, so we'll need one of those. What is the end of this? Oh, it's just a bunch of bare wires. So cool. Hopefully it'll have a little explanation. Probably says it here. Yeah, it requires 5 volt. Cool. That's what our other one had, or that's what our system supplies. Phase output A and B. 20 milliamp. Yes. LED indicators. I love those. Ours is a Fagor style one, I believe. I could be wrong, but I want to say that's what I was reading in the documentation with our controller card. Is a Fagor style or something like that? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I made that all up. Again. Let's do this. Let's go to this guy here. Cyrus, where you really should look at getting or building, you can build one for super cheap, but the basic idea is something like an Axminster coolant system and a LED indicator. Yes, it works by hitting you. It hits hard, it's on. It hits hard, it's on, and if soft, it's off. Oh shit, I double clicked. I meant, now I gotta wait. Yeah. Are you talking about you're talking about this, oops, the touch plate, right? The probe? Oh, no, wait. Okay, never mind. Oh, god damn, dude. I'm sorry. I took you seriously. No, I'm just a, yeah. Them lead indicators. I was like seriously thinking like, wait, is lead a serious problem with this? And I'm like, my brain is reeling like, well, how's that? And the other half is like, dude, freak out. It's time to panic. I joke now and then. No, you're good. I just didn't get it. I was slow to the draw. Classic Sid. Classic Sid. So, oh yeah, that's right. I wanted to look at this manual because no. Yeah, that's it. Wait, was it here or no, it was down here. Fago. Google Axe Minister coolant pump system. Okay, just a second here. I wanna just verify something real fast. Man, I think I might have to find a new frequency to broadcast on. This mic just keeps doing weird stuff. Doesn't this say like, oh my gosh, it's cat feeding time, I can smell. Yeah. No, it's just gonna tell you how to. Maybe it's the wiring diagram. Oh, maybe not. That's it. All right. You guys have pictures? I'm really into those. Especially when I'm gonna spend $210. Oh, here we go. Great. Yeah. Might be a good idea. I mean, what we've been doing lately is very off par from what I've been doing mostly with CNC, which is just taking panels that are already exactly the size I need, with reference drill points already put inside, so I'm able to set that all perfectly. I'm used to just engraving that and then cutting the holes into that and then being done. All this other stuff that we've been doing lately is really like cutting metal and so forth. It's all a little weird, a little new to me. So it's probably where was I going with this story? Oh, I think it may be time to upgrade, with the idea, because I am going at a higher speed, so it does generate heat, and I want to keep at those speeds. And I need, with a fluid system, with a coolant system pump, it would also be a chip removal system. And depending on how loud this is, it's probably quieter than a shop vac. Oh my, yeah, you wrote something. Something like that is what you need to build. You can get it for a lot cheaper than that. That's for sure. It basically floods or drips coolant onto the parts and stops binding. Also washes the chip away. You just filter them off. It makes life easy for you and your tools. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. And I know it can work fine in this system with what I have, because I've seen other people do it. We have the room for it to work. I guess the thing I need to find is a I wonder if anybody has like an enclosure. What would that be? Like a CNC, I guess, enclosure? I don't know, that's probably not gonna give me what I want. Yeah, but like a kit. No, that's not what I want. Oh, here's the CNC cookbook, guys. Oh, here's how to make one of your own. Coolant pump, reservoir. I might. Cheap long extension novels. But I'm looking for, I'd like to find some sort of enclosure for that. I mean, Google, because this is a pretty good article. Okay, enclosure is not there. Alright, I'm going to save this for later. You go a simple and cheap water pump and some aquarium tubing. Just need to make sure you filter off the chips so that it doesn't gum up the pump. Yeah. Well, I was skimming through this, and this looks like a pretty easy DIY project. It looks, they mention the brand and everything that you'd want to get and all that good stuff. So, I'm I don't want to go nuts. Yeah, I just want to put like a bucket and then have some like plexiglass or some sort of translucent plastic. So I can watch, because I like to watch. That's my thing. Oh my God, I have to be logged in. I don't want to see your stupid pictures up close anyways. Oh, I see. It looks like, never mind. I might have to get creative. I wish I could find like that's as easy as it can be, a plastic bucket, a little frame or a wood with some PVC sheets on the front or sides. Yeah, I guess I could, can you get those at hardware stores? Like, translucent PVC? I've never noticed it there, but I know it's gonna have protective crud all over it. So, I probably wouldn't notice it. I guess you could just cut that with a table saw or a jig or something like that, jigsaw. And then I wouldn't even want to make a big deal of binding them together. I just need it to control the splash. Well, I was thinking like a painter's tray, something like that for the machine to sit in. I need something with a nice flat bottom. Because I don't want it, I want it level. Yeah, maybe a bucket and I just cut it. I'll have to go to some hardware stores and, oh, here you go, you got some linkage here. Okay. Well, that's giant too. Perfect. Okay. And I was thinking I could just... I don't even really care. I just want them to physically hinge together, so I may put like like a long hinge here on the outside corners, and then on the inside maybe just, I don't know, something to block that. Maybe like, I wonder if I could cut some PVC tubing into quarters. That would be cool. Just equal quarters. Yo, SNES! What's up? Yeah, I think this would be a reasonable project to work on. We don't have to do it for what we're doing, because the problem... Yeah, I think so too. Because, yeah, I'm thinking about it now, and you could ride the PVC down a saw, cut it into 2 halves, and then, you know, rinse and repeat to cut it into corners. And then you could put those in, and that should block a majority. I could even put caulking there if I really care, but all I care about is it just splashing out. I guess I'd have to protect the motor control, though. Because, yeah, I'm looking at, I'm like, oh, well, what's all waterproof? Probably not this. It's probably as susceptible to, oh, yeah, you can see inside. I know, yeah, I forget, you can take this part out. I think we did once. I don't remember how you do it. I don't want to break. Oh, yeah, you just use your man muscles. There you go. Now I can just control it remotely. Pretty cool remote. These are the antennas. No, they're not. What Sid is doing is lying. Oh, man. But, I mean, I could just mount it externally, and I just need to run, I could do heat shrink tubing or something like that for the power on this, and for this switch I'm not even using right now. Yeah, okay, you're 2 steps ahead of me. And I've learned a long time ago that water doesn't really break anything. It's what's in water that breaks things. And but I think these limit switches are actually sealed, so I don't really need to worry about, or they're fairly well sealed. I'm sure they'll eventually stop sealing. Well, I don't know where I had one, but I don't know where it is. Either way, I think they're sealed, so they should be all right. And the wiring, it doesn't matter. I mean, if I have to, I'll replace it someday. But for the time being, I would like to get this replaced with a solid piece of plastic instead of a 3D printed piece, because it doesn't work. It fails. I wrote the email to the home slice. Hopefully he, she, them will be like, yeah, you know what? That 3D printed was a bad idea. Here's some made out of a solid piece of ABS. Because that ain't going to go nowhere. I guarantee it. But this is hollow inside. So... Still with silicone and you were laughing. I like it. Yeah. I'm not that too concerned. because it's just this limit switch, and then the top ones, I mean, they'll get a little splash, but they'll get by. Yeah, I really like that idea, because then I would have the system lubed the whole time with that cutting fluid. I'd like to get a pump with enough push to be to also be the chip remover as well. So yeah, I think we'll do that. I don't think that's going to hold us up from our projects that we're working on. I still can do the sign without that stuff. I think the reason it couldn't cut, because it was worse this time than anything I've ever seen. I think the reason it was having problems, definitely the chip load has played into it, but the fact that it was broke really screwed it up. Because it has to be super rigid, and those vibrations, if they just get exaggerated more. If it's really rigid, like I replaced, like I really like that these struts are now aluminum. Before they were just one piece, like that. Or no, my mistake. They were two pieces of ABS, but that's a solid aluminum piece there, and I think that's gonna, and that really held the, like I've never seen this top part dance around at all. And in the past, I've seen that twerk and flex and so forth. So there we go. So I think it's this. I really think this was our problems. And I'll be honest with you guys. The more I think about it, I remember when I was wrenching it on, I thought I heard it crack. So I'm kind of worried that it broke a long time ago, and it's always been an issue for us. Because we put it through its paces when we did all the engraving and everything yesterday, and prior to that, it was able to cut, but it was really having a hard time. And then I realized that the cullet wasn't tight enough, and so it was that was the real big problem, is that the bit wasn't in there, it was spinning. But then once I tightened it and everything, it did cut a lot better. This is a couple days ago. Now I go to cut that metal, and it's still better, but it's still having a lot of problems. And the problems always seem to be when it's dragging back to the right, which told me instantly, like, oh, I don't think it's on there very secure. And I could wiggle it a little bit too. I should have done a little bit more on camera to kind of show how much it flexed. But you can't have anything like that. I was worried that me putting my elbow on the table or pushing away, would cause it to create vibrations. And that's going to mess things up. So yeah, rigidity is super important. Like you were saying earlier, because you're used to the CNC machines being big forklifted around pieces of equipment, and I agree. That's how is it? I agree that that plays majorly into what kind of material that the CNC can run through. This is it's a pretty strong machine, but not strong enough. No. It is not strong like bear, more like baby bear. Still strong, but need mother cub. No, anyways, I don't even know what I'm just being mumbles now. Yeah, okay. So I'll make a trip to the depot, and I'll go to some other hardware stores too, really, and look around, see if I can find. I want to find a bucket this can fit in, but I need it to have a nice flat surface. But I wouldn't mind some reservoir, lines in there. So maybe I can, it'd just be easier for the tubing. But I guess it really doesn't matter. And then for what it is, it's a super bit of a kit. Yeah, it really is. And honestly, I recommend it to everybody. The link's down there on the Twitch feed, just because if I would have spent money on a $5,000 thing and had the troubles that I've done and the mistakes that I've made, I probably would have been in tears because it would have been destroyed, or it would have been a really expensive repair. And this thing, it's made out of bloody plastic and aluminum and screws, and a lot of the expensive parts are the only parts that need to really be that rigid. So like these rails and so forth, the lead screws and all that, those are the only parts that really need that rigidity. This thing will be pretty cool though at this rate. We're really pushing it. I've never moved this fast on my machine before, on my CNC. Before, the other one, there's like little baby steps every couple months. But now that it's a show on them internets, I gotta mess with it a lot, which is fine. The only downside is like my learning curve is accelerated, and that I'm not smarter. Yeah, the bigger machines, when they go wrong big time. Watched it should thread its own Z shaft, twist a motor mount. Yeah, actually, I think it slips. Yeah. And that's what I was thinking, I've made plenty of mistakes with milling bits. When I bought some really expensive ones, I was trying to figure out, what is what, and I'm like, well, maybe I need to buy more expensive milling pieces. And I bought like ball cutters and stuff, and I really didn't know what I was doing. And I paid for it, my ignorance. Whatever. Well, cool, guys. I'll let you guys know when I start getting some email. I'll put a tweet when I get a response back from Zen on getting the part, and I'm gonna order the collet or collet. There we go. I'm gonna order the collet, the hand wheel, the electric hand wheel, and some new cutter bits. And we'll assemble that, and we'll go again on my buddy's sign. Thankfully, it's not a loss. We didn't scratch at the material either. That cut on the side looks beautiful, honestly. I'm really happy with it. Even though it effed up, it still was a much better cut than its predecessor, which was because the bit was all loose and janky. So I'm excited. I think it's gonna be lit, fam. This weekend, the Observer is visiting us once again in Jamtown. He's bringing. You know what? He gave me a link earlier. I doubt I have it in my. I'll put it up on Twitter, and I'll start throwing it out there. I've got links for his modular grid and stuff like that, Instagram and so forth, so you guys can check it out. It's going to be killer. It's going to be really, really killer. His system, his rig is really, really cool. And his writing setup and his writing style is a little different than mine. So he comes prepared. So get ready to bob your head and cut a rug a little bit, because he'll definitely bring that right out of the gate. You won't have any of the classic, oh, what do I do today, of Sid. I'll just be following his lead a little bit, and it's going to be fantastic. We've got even someone cutting cameras. We'll have a 2-camera shot. I actually got to go and pick that other camera up tomorrow. It's going to be really, I'm really, really excited about it. I hope you guys can make it. And then this week, next week. So I'm taking Sunday off. It's my wedding anniversary, so probably want to take that off. And I know I have up on my schedule that I'll be streaming on Monday. I may or may not do that, just because it's kind of a holiday for me and the missus. So we'll see. But we'll have our Arrowhead order, we'll have our order from Arrow Electronics in, so we can begin soldering. So maybe we'll do a little bit of soldering on Monday, and because I just can't wait on those Jürgen Haber VCOs. I really cannot wait to work on those things and start getting them working. I mean, right there, I think I need to look, but I think there's a couple of weirdo ICs that I need to track down, some hard to get ones. So I'll probably do that tonight. And but either way, next week we're going to work on soldering and getting those things together. And then the week after, we'll come back over here. We'll have all our parts and everything for the machine, and we can start. We'll put the motor on. We'll remount the motor. We'll reconnect everything. We don't really have that much work to do. I mean, it takes about twice as long to put it on as it took to take off, so expect 10 minutes, I hope. Trying to think of anything else that's worthy before we go. Oh, you know what? Let's see if there's anybody. See if who we can raid today. But yeah, it's gonna be great, guys. I'm really excited about this weekend. I know I'm kind of repeating myself, being a little bit of a dork, but I'm genuinely. I'm really psyched about it. I was hoping that Observer would want to come back to Jamtown soon, but he's working. He's just like everybody else. He's working on a lot of other projects and their own thing, and I totally get that. Oh, yo! Let's go hit Shitwolf up. So Shitwolf, despite his offensive name, is a really, really nice, chill cat. And he does modular synth. He has a really cool rig. I always enjoy checking it out. He typically doesn't have a microphone. He's always just talking back in chat. So that's about, the only... But I still always enjoy that cat. Let's see if he comes up on my list. Sometimes it doesn't work. But it's cool stuff that he's put up there. He does a lot of environmental ambient sound stuff too. He's given me several links to some really cool sources for stuff like that. Let's see. It'll work. I don't know. Oh, there he is. All right, cool. So yeah, I'll see you guys hopefully Saturday, maybe Monday, probably Monday. I'll probably just do Monday, and it'd probably just be like a quick stream at the least, or at the very least. But I think I'm taking Tuesday off, and then Wednesday we'll just run in. By the way, guys, I just realized last night this is 10 days straight of streaming that I did. This is the 10th day in a row, because I kind of goof around with my schedule, and I kind of didn't pay attention to having a day off. So I've just been going for like since I think like last Thursday or Wednesday or something like that. Something like that. I can't remember exactly. Whatever number equals 10. That was the last day. So 10 days straight, pretty good. So I don't feel too bad about taking 2 days off next week, but I still have a little bit of regret. But yeah, guys, 10 days in a row. Let's freaking go. I think most of them on Restream too. So that's on we got on the YouTube, and we're on the Periscope, and even my own little silly ass Facebook page. Crazy, right? But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and go to my outro card here. With there's a schedule there. Yeah, it says I'll be here. Oh no, it does say I'm gonna be here Monday, Tuesday. That may not be accurate. But thank you so much, everybody, hanging out, and I really appreciate everything. Appreciate y'all. Y'alls are good. And yeah, see you guys next time.